And you can see the second instalment with Noelle on tomorrow's show. We're going behind the scenes at one of this year's top designers show. Did you like the stuff you saw there, Emma and Darren? Would you go for that kind of...
Absolutely, everything.
I'd wear it all. The whole look. I can see you're
yeah.
kind of working it. You're really moving. The 2013, hang on, where are we? Isn't it? You work like a year ahead.
When the models are so thin and tall, it looks fabulous on then, and then you get it on.
Well,
you look like a
you're not so
decoration.
porky yourself, Emma. You're looking pretty lean there to me. I'll find out how you do that in a moment. Let's give you your proper introduction, though. They sound like they've got the best jobs in the world. I'm sure they're going to tell us it's terribly hard work. They're currently in the process of travelling the world as part of a Channel 5 series, showing us how to experience holiday heaven on a budget. Let's have a little look.
I'm kicking off my tour with a cruise on a traditional dhow, a boat that has been a common sight off the Omani coast for centuries.
Now, the idea of being on a dhow is that you're able to step back from the coastline and see all the rock, which is rather impressive.
Please welcome Emma Wilson and Darren Kennedy. It does sound like the dream job. I know from experience I've done a few travel shows and just literally 2 trips, and it's not. Is it? It's not a holiday. It is work.
Yeah, it's work, but I'm not complaining.
It's both
of us are happy out.
I want to keep my job.
But you do have to, you're filming all day. I'm trying to make people home feel sorry for you.
It's terrible.
Bit of sympathy.
No one else should do this except us. It's long hours, but it's really worth it.
Yeah, and you get to see some places that you wouldn't necessarily have chosen yourself.
Absolutely, and we have such a tight schedule to see so much that you really do get to experience a place. I mean, you sort of come away from it feeling you've been there a couple of weeks.
Yeah, because you have to tick so many boxes. Yeah.
That's it, and literally you might have only spent 2 or 3 days in a place and you walk away and you're, I can't remember what I did in day 1. Like, you only remember kind of the last day. And the great thing about it, and I think, Emma, you'll agree, you get to go to places that you wouldn't necessarily want or have thought about, and then you go, definitely going back.
Where did you go?
Taiwan, I just came back from, and went on a bullet train there, which went over 330 kilometres per hour. Right. And it's so smooth. Taiwan was a real eye-opener to me. Very gentle people, very kind, very clean. It was beautiful. I love Taiwan. Oman was incredible. Place to take my mother back to. Very chic. I think she could...
Yeah. Your mum likes... Yeah, she's a chic woman.
She's a high-end
I read that you borrow some of her clothes for this.
Just a few.
Some?
The entire wardrobe for the show, I've gone and raided
she's probably
everything.
had some pretty good clothing budgets in the shows she's done over the years.
I made an effort today to wear things that are actually mine. So these Vivienne Westwood shoes are mine, OK? Not hers.
She probably will borrow them off you, though, now. It's time for her to get her own
if she
back.
plays her cards right.
How lucky are you to be able to share clothes with your mum, though? I mean, that's pretty spectacular. No, well, like, even my dad, I couldn't share clothes with my dad.
So what kind of trips have you been on? Because you don't go together, do you?
No, we don't, and that's the funny thing. We rarely see each other, so it's a breath of fresh air, and we do. We go into a voiceover once a week, and we see each other and catch up then, and, things like this, which is great. I'm just back from California, which was incredible. Obviously not the most exotic location as in terms of the show, but, I went surfing on La Jolla Beach. I went up to the vineyards in kind of San Luis Obispo.
You went to a hotel called the Madonna Inn.
The Madonna Inn. Have you been, haven't you?
Yes, I have. It's the most kitsch place, even more kitsch than our studio. It really is the most kitsch place.
Did you get nightmares?
Yeah, I stayed in the jungle suite, which had a swing across the bed, and there's a red leather room as well. Did you see that room?
Yeah, I saw them all. We were given a guided tour. And then places like Hong Kong, and so kind of like Asia really kind of gets me going because it's a different culture.
But the hook is that all of these are on a budget.
Right,
or there's some kind of, value added to
also,
these
these
trips.
are very exotic, but I think, places like Oman, you wouldn't necessarily say, oh, let's have a quickie holiday there. And what we want to do is show how you can go to some really lovely places. I was in the Caribbean and around St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And so, as opposed to being in Mystique, we're on the beach in Bequia, a little island, looking at Mystique. Now, that's not bad. And yet, it's a fraction of the price. And I think that that's what we're hoping that we can show, that you can, if you're clever, you can decide, do you want the expensive hotel for a couple of days, or do you want to have a self-contained apartment and then eat out and treat yourself to a massage?
So have you, you're very well travelled, you've lived in the States for a long time. Do you actually learn stuff yourself and think, oh, gosh, this is
absolutely.
a really good...
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even just Hong Kong, and it's not about spending money. One of the things that I absolutely adored the most about Hong Kong was going to Yum Cha, which is kind of traditional Chinese tea house. It doesn't cost you a penny. You don't have to eat much in there, and it's all dim sum. It's all pushed around on a a steam tray, and it's every age from like literally 5 up to 55 up to 95, all just sitting around passing a few hours. Like I just think that's great because you get to see a bit of the culture, and like I ate to my heart's content, and I think, well, as I try to do, you never know when you're going to eat next. You need to get it in, and it cost only a few quid. So I mean, that's a great
you sound like you're
way.
having a much better experience than my one show on Wish You Were Here when I went to the pyramids with my mum.
Oh.
And yeah, we had to ride these old horses around the pyramids. Yeah, and I couldn't make mine move, and then it sprinted off, and it was just I didn't.
I had a
really...
little of that in San Antonio. I went out to a dude ranch, and so I was riding and cracking whips, and I had a little. Daisy was my horse, and she wasn't very keen. I got a few bucks in the end when I was like, I'm going for a canter.
I understand you're going on holiday with your mum soon. Is that for this? Or
Well,
is that...
she plays a cards ride. I'm off to Madeira on Friday and then over to an island called Porto Santo. And I'm told I'm whale watching, hand gliding.
Amazing.
My
Do you know
first
what?
ever golf lesson.
I don't know why
I've
I
never played
decided
golf
to kind of get you sympathy for the job. This does sound like the dream job.
Don't give us
It's
sympathy.
wonderful.
It's fantastic. And I nearly ended up going away with Anne, didn't I?
Yes.
In a
He's off to the
twist of
Cotswolds.
fate.
So I said she'd have a cup of tea with him in the Cotswolds.
I've never been to the Cotswolds. I'm an Irishman. I've no idea what the Cotswolds are like.
It's a bit like Ireland.
Yeah,
actually,
is it?
with posh English accents.
Great.
Basically. That's it. Lovely to meet you.
Lovely.
Give my love to your mum.
Will do.
You. And thank you so much, Darren, for coming on.
Thank you.
And do watch the third.
Thanks for having
It's
us.
Thursday
Yes.
at 7 o'clock.
Thursday, 7 o'clock. We'll be there for some great tips. Thank you very much, guys. Thanks to all my guests today. Tomorrow, Australian singer Darren Hayes is here. Remember Savage Garden? Model Lisa Butcher is joining me on the sofa as well. She's been a guest presenter on your show,
on this
hasn't she?
week.
She's on this week.
Yeah, Chicago.
The divorce doctor, Francine Kay, always has amazing advice on love and relationships. And we're going behind the scenes again at London Fashion Week. And don't forget to tune in to see if you can scoop a scooter. The questions are happening every single day this week. Go online to the Channel 5 website. You'll find the questions there as well. 11:10 tomorrow. See you then. Bye.